Hey, so this is a San Francisco real estate market update. I'm shooting this in the month of June 2025. Going to be reviewing the data for May 2025. Compare that with the data for May 2024. We're going to look at single family homes. We're going to do condos, TICs, and co-ops. We're going to review all that data. Take a look at what's changed, what's going on this summer, what's going on in the local market. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave any comments, feedback, questions, anything like that wherever you're watching this video. If you're thinking about buying or selling real estate, be sure to contact us. I would love to help you any way I can, whether it's to be your agent or refer you to a good agent that knows that particular niche or market or geographic area. Okay, let's jump right into it. Let's start with single family home data. So new listings in May 2024 was 298. And then in May 2025, there was 328. So an increase of 10.1% year over year for new listings. Pending sales last year was 236. This year, that number is 267. So an increase of 13.1% year over year. And sold listings last year was 230. This year, that number is 221. So a decrease of 3.9% year over year. Median sales price last year was 1.675, and this year that number is 1.8 million. So that's an increase of 7.5% year over year. Nothing to scoff at. Average sales price last year was $2,204,000. This year that number is $2,478,000. So that's an increase of 12.4% year over year, which is also fairly significant. Days on market last year was 23. This year that number is 22. So homes are selling just a tad bit faster than they were last year. Active listings on the market, that's basically inventory levels. Last year was 354. This year that number is 351. So basically no change, less than a 1% change year over year. Percentage of homes that sold over asking price last year was 81.7%. This year that number is down a little bit to 79.6%. On average, homes were selling for 13.6% over the asking price last year. And this year on average, they're selling for 12.3% over the asking price. So not a major change year over year. And lastly, month supply of inventory last year was 2.1. This year, the number is 1.9. So it actually seems like it's kind of the reverse of what's happening in San Mateo County, where we saw a lot more inventory and we saw actually a decreasing average median sales price numbers. In San Francisco, it looks like actually inventory, it went up a little bit, new listings, but inventory is down year over year and demand is up for single family homes in San Francisco. That seems to be an interesting trend because, we saw a lot of actually post the pandemic, we saw a lot of people still exiting out of the city is what it seemed like, with demand kind of always being up in the peninsula. And whereas it seemed like demand was down in the city, and seems like that trend might be reversing a little bit. Let's see if that's going to continue and more to come with that. Condo, TICs, co-ops. Let's jump into that. So new listings last year was 395. That's for May 2024. New listings for the month of May 2025, 373. So that's a decrease of 5.6% year over year. Pending sales last year was 229. This year, that number is 272. It's actually an increase of 18.8% year over year. So a lot of those new condos that came on the market being snatched up. Sold listings last year, 263. This year, that number is 231. So a decrease of 12.2% year over year. Median sales price last year was $1,150,000. This year, that number is $1,290,000. So an increase of 12.2% year over year. That's pretty significant, actually. Average sales price last year was $1,382,000. This year, that number is $1,409,000. So a very slight increase of 1.9% year over year. Days on market last year was 47. This year, that number is 46. Active listings last year was 930. This year, that number is 834. A pretty substantial double-digit decrease of 10.3% year over year. Percentage of properties sold over the list price last year was 45.6. This year, that number is 44.6. So basically, almost no change. Last year, percentage of list price received was 2.6% over the asking price. This year, that number is 2.5% over the listing price. So basically no change. Month supply of inventory last year was 5.0. This year that number is 4.1. So we're still technically kind of in a seller's market, but it seems to be slowly, again, inventory that skyrocketed post-pandemic, post-March 2020. That's when supply just kind of kept skyrocketing month after month and was not being bought up in San Francisco. It seems like that trend is continuing to reverse and homes are continuing to be snatched up, and we're starting to see that supply go down and that demand go up. And we're still not in a seller's market. We're still probably technically in a buyer's market for condos, TICs, co-ops in San Francisco overall. That trend's starting to reverse a little bit, and that's interesting and good to know. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Feel free to comment with any questions or feedback you might have. Looking forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks again.